Vanillite Community Day is almost here in Pokemon Go, and it features an opportunity for a lot of XP. And by the end of this video, you'll know everything the event has to offer and the best tips to help you make the most of it. So the event takes place on Sunday, April 27th between 2 PM and 5 PM local time. But what exactly does it have to offer? Well, for the bonuses, Vanillites will be appearing much more frequently in the wild, and they will have boosted 1 in 25 shiny rates. So a great time to get the shiny family if you haven't got it yet. You will get 3 times catch XP, 2 times catch candy, 2 times chance for Candy XL. Lures and incense will last for 3 hours, excluding daily incense. You'll get some snapshot photobomb encounters with Vanillite. You'll get 1 additional special trade for a maximum of 2 for the day, and all trades made will require 50% less Stardust. And while these bonuses do sound good, there are some ways to make them a lot better, but more on that later. And evolving Vanillish from the start of the event up until May 4th at 10 PM local time will get you a Vanilluxe that knows the charged attack Avalanche. And I will be going through how good Vanilluxe will be with Avalanche later on in the video, so stay tuned for that. There will be field research to catch Vanillite that will reward Stardust, Great Balls, and additional encounters with Vanillite. And if you're lucky, you might find some field research that rewards encounters with Vanillite that has the special Might and Mastery background. And there is a way you can get a guaranteed encounter with Vanillite with this background as well. So starting on the day of the event, you will receive a timed research that will last for a week following the event. Completing these tasks will get you an encounter with Vanillite with the special background. And this Vanillite will have the same 1 in 25 boosted shiny rate. And this research is pretty simple. You just need to catch a Pokemon on 5 different days following the event. And make sure to keep your biggest Vanillite for Pokestop showcases that will be available throughout the event. And if you want some extra items for Community Day, there are some bundles available in the in-game shop. For 1350 Pokecoins you can get these items, and for 480 Pokecoins you can get these items. You can also get a $2 special research that will get you additional encounters with Vanillite, a premium battle pass, a rare Candy XL, and 3 encounters with Vanillite that have the special seasonal background. You will also be able to get this special research ticket from the web store, and it will cost the same price of $2, but you will get 2 bonus rare candies. So worth picking up the ticket from the web store to get the most value. So I will be getting into how good the event Pokemon are later on in the video, but first, how can you make the most out of these bonuses? So the main one for this event is XP. So with the 3 times catch XP, you can actually increase this to 6 times catch XP if you use lucky eggs. This means if you manage to get excellent throws, you will be able to get over 6,000 XP per catch, which is really some of the best XP you can get in the game. So because of this, it is well worth taking extra time on your throws to try and get those excellent throws. However, if you can't consistently get excellent throws, then it might be worth going for great throws instead, because you can still get a decent amount of XP from them. I would also recommend quick catching to increase the amount of Vanillite you catch in a given time, and it's worth having at least a great buddy active so you can benefit from the catch assist, which if you don't know, allows your buddy to rebound the Pokeball after you throw it if the Pokemon you're trying to catch knocks it back. And this 3 times catch XP bonus is even better in a Community Day setting than it would be in other events. This is basically because there will be more spawns. So if you can play somewhere with a large number of Pokestops, then I would highly recommend it, because with the 3-hour lure module bonus of Community Day, it means trainers tend to use their lure modules more often than not because they have more value during this time. This means in more densely populated areas, you often get a lot of Pokestops lured up, and this means there are a lot more potential spawns from all of these lures, and therefore you will be able to catch more to get more XP, Stardust, and potential shinies. So it is for this reason that I would highly recommend stocking up on Pokeballs as much as you can before the event. If you do have limited space, you could probably drop some potions, revives, and some berries so you can make space for Pokeballs, because this is very much a catch focused event. So Pokeballs, Great Balls, and Ultra Balls are the most valuable items. Stocking up on a lot of Pokeballs, however, could be difficult if you live in areas where there aren't a large number of Pokestops. For this though, I would highly recommend opening the max amount of gifts you can each day leading up to the event. And even though there are no Stardust bonuses for this event, if you are going to be grinding the event for XP, it's probably worth using your star pieces anyway, so you can capitalize on that Stardust you get from all of these catches. It's also worth using incense during the event because again, it will be lasting for 3 hours and it will keep the flow of Pokemon encounters more consistent if you happen to pass through an area with low spawns during your walk. Also, if you use multiple incense whilst Community Day is active, you can add an extra 3 hours to your incense per incense used. So it's worth doing this if you are going to continue playing after Community Day ends. Now, as far as adventure effects go, there are actually a few options that will help you out in different situations or depending on what you want as a player. Firstly, you can use Origin Dialga's Roar of Time adventure effect to extend the duration of your lucky eggs, star pieces, and incense that you use on the day. This means you will be able to benefit from these premium items for longer. This, however, does cost 5 Dialga candy and 5,000 Stardust for 6 minutes of it being active. Another option is to use Origin Palkia's Spatial Rend adventure effect, which will extend the radius of which you can encounter Pokemon. This will help you reach more Vanillite in a given area, and in particular, it will be useful when walking through streets that are parallel to each other, because you might be able to reach over to the neighboring streets and pick up the Vanillite from them as well. It's also useful for reaching Pokemon in places that you can't normally reach, or places that are off limits and you can't walk to. And this effect will also cost you 5,000 Stardust and 5 Palkia candy, but it will last for 10 minutes. Now these are both really useful, but some other options are Black and White Kyurem's adventure effects, because they can help you out with your catching. Firstly, Black Kyurem's adventure effect Freeze Shock will stop the Pokemon from moving around as much, so you can catch them more easily. It also increases the catch rate of Pokemon by 25%. Alternatively though, you could use White Kyurem's Ice Burn adventure effect that slows down the catch circle when it becomes smaller, so you can more easily land excellent throws. And during an event where you can get a lot of XP through excellent throws, this one is very useful. This effect also increases catch rate by 50%, so out of the 2 Kyurem adventure effects, I would recommend using this one. And this increased catch rate also works with auto catches, so if you can't actively play the event and you just want to use your auto catcher, then it's worth putting on White Kyurem's adventure effect as well. So out of all of these adventure effects, I would probably recommend Origin Palkia's or White Kyurem's. And there are actually some in-game settings you can use to increase the speed of your gameplay and increase the amount of catches you can get. In the advanced settings, firstly you can turn on Remember Last Use Pokeball. This is especially helpful when you want to use Great or Ultra Balls instead of Pokeballs to catch Pokemon, because it means each time you encounter another Pokemon, you will bring out a Great or an Ultra Ball at the start of your encounter. It won't just be default on Pokeballs, so you won't have to navigate the menu each time to change the type of Pokeball you want to use. Also, selecting native refresh rate can also give you smoother gameplay, because the refresh rate won't be capped and it will instead be based on your phone's limits. This, however, may drain your battery a bit quicker. And as always, you can get a bit of XP and Stardust just for taking part in Pokestop showcases, and if you do happen to rank highly, you can get premium items like Lucky Eggs and Star Pieces that you can then use to get more XP and Stardust. But remember, it is worth trying to do these showcases in more rural areas if you can, because there is less competition, so you've got more chances of winning. Now, whilst this event is well worth playing for the bonuses, especially if you need XP, is the event Pokemon any good? Well, unfortunately, even with Avalanche, this Pokemon won't be relevant as a raid attacker or in Go Battle League, but it is always worth holding on the ones with the best IVs or the best PvP IVs, because sometimes Pokemon that aren't relevant do randomly become relevant from attack updates or attack availability updates. These updates happen at the start of each season, so every 3 months you have a chance of this Pokemon becoming relevant. And for Go Battle League, here are the current rankings of Vanilluxe and the PvP IVs you can look out for. So for Go Battle League, you don't always want 100% IVs for your Pokemon. This is because sometimes you want a lower attack IV so you can power up the Pokemon more, increasing its defense and HP before reaching the Battle League CP cap. This leads to a bulkier Pokemon that can take more hits and potentially land more attacks. This is generally the case for Pokemon that can potentially get a higher CP than the CP cap of the league. So in the Great League, Vanilluxe is ranked 1016 with 0, 15, 13 IVs. In the Ultra League, it's ranked 731 with 0, 15, 11 IVs, and in the Master League, it's ranked 358. Worth noting as well that the middle stage, Vanillish, is actually ranked higher in the Great League than Vanilluxe, where it is ranked 563 with 0, 14, 15 IVs. And as well as the Master League, you do want 100% IVs for raid attacking. And here are some CP values you can look out for on the day that do indicate 100% IVs. So from research, you are looking for a Vanillite with 443 CP, which is at level 15. From the wild, at the max level of 30, this is without a weather boost, you are looking for 886 CP, and max level with a snowy weather boost at level 35 will be 959 CP. And other than these values I mentioned, I recommend checking out your inventory regularly with a 4-star search to see if you picked up any hundos. It's especially worth doing this before you transfer any. And if you are looking to power up Vanillite in the future, or if you want to be prepared in case it becomes relevant, you will want as much candy as possible to power it up. And here are the ways you can maximize on candy. So you can always use Pinat Berries to increase your candy gains, and you can Mega Evolve a Pokemon that shares a type with a Pokemon you're catching to increase the amount of candy, Candy XL, and XP you get per catch. And as Vanillite is an Ice type, you can Mega Evolve Glalie or Abomasnow. And remember to pick whichever Pokemon you have at max Mega level so you can get more candy, XP, and chance for Candy XL. And generally what I do to get Mega Pokemon at max Mega level is to tag all the ones I want to increase the Mega level on, and then go through all of them, Mega Evolving them one by one, and then wait for the cooldown and do it all again. And even if this does overwrite each of their effects, it's worth doing unless you know you're going to need them in the immediate future. And it does take 30 days to get a max Mega level Pokemon, and you only get credit for the first time you Mega Evolve a Pokemon each day. So it's one of those things you want to do for the future. And with all of the XP you can get throughout this event, leveling up will be a lot easier. But past level 40, there are also challenges you need to complete to level up. And to get to level 49, you do need 35 Platinum medals, and luckily Community Days are great events to get a lot of these medals done easier. Firstly, with Vanillite being an Ice type, it's a good chance to work on your Platinum Skier medal. With lure modules lasting for 3 hours, it's a good time to work on your Platinum Picnicker medal, especially if you play in populated areas because a lot of people will be out catching off your lures. And remember, you will get snapshot photobomb encounters with Vanillite during this event, and this will help you progress your Cameraman Platinum medal. And if you don't know how to get snapshot photobombs, you just have to go to a Pokemon in your inventory or your buddy, click on the camera icon and take a picture of that Pokemon. Then on that picture, Vanillite will photobomb, and when you go back to the overworld map screen, it will spawn at your avatar's location. With the trading bonuses for this event, it's a great time to work on your Platinum Gentleman and Pilot medals. And with only Vanillite spawning for the 3 hours, you do have a good chance of running into Double XL and Double XS Vanillite, and this will help you with your Jumbo and Tiny Collector medals. With showcases being available, it's a good chance to work on your Showcase Star medal, and getting this medal to Platinum is the only way to get PhD Pikachu currently. And as field research is always easy to do in Community Day, it's usually just catch 3 of the featured Pokemon. It can be very helpful with getting your Pokemon Ranger Platinum medal. And generally, field research is well worth doing anyway because you've got more chance of getting Hundos or Shundos than when you catch from the wild, because they do have a 10-10-10 IV floor. And if you are looking to meet up with your local community during this event, and you want to get some free items as well, here is how you can do it. So to do this, you need to head to the Niantic Campfire app and check the map of your local area to see if there are any meetups that are specifically being held by a community ambassador. Then when you get to the meetup, you can check in via the Niantic Campfire app, and you will receive a special research. These special researches do differ depending on the type of event you're meeting up for. And for a Community Day in particular, you will be rewarded with 10 Pinap Berries for completing a party challenge, you'll get 5 Ultra Balls for trading a Pokemon, you'll get 5,000 XP for catching 30 Pokemon, and for completing all of these tasks, you will get 1 lure module, 1 star piece, and 1 incense. So honestly, some pretty nice rewards. And with that said, if you do want to know more about other events going on in Pokemon Go right now, then I recommend checking out this video on the screen now, and I'll catch you in the next one.